Good afternoon everyone. नहीं आ रहा है आवाज़. अच्छा. So I will begin the class. Last class we were discussing about the trisomy. Okay. We have already discussed 3 cases under trisomy. One is Patau syndrome, that is due to trisomy of chromosome number 13. Edwards syndrome due to trisomy of chromosome number 18, and Down syndrome due to trisomy of chromosome number 21. Okay, all these 3 of the conditions takes place in the autosome chromosome. Okay, there is another case of trisomy that takes place in the sex chromosome, that is the Klinefelter syndrome. Klinefelter syndrome takes place due to presence of an additional X chromosome. Okay. So as a result, total chromosomes will be 47 and the condition will be XXY. Okay. In this kind of individual, the organism showing Klinefelter syndrome will have an additional copy of X chromosome. So the characteristic will be, although they have a masculine development, this occurs in case of male. So although they have a masculine development, there will be development of breast. Okay, this is a characteristic that the person with Klinefelter syndrome, although they have a masculine development, it occurs in male, but they will have breast, and this condition is known as gynecomastia. And this term is important as just mentioned in your NCERT book. Okay, so although the males have a masculine development, but they consist of breast, and this condition is known as gynecomastia. Okay, and this is mentioned in your NCERT book, and the individual will be sterile. So this is all about the Klinefelter syndrome you need to know. Just keep in mind there will be an extra pair of chromosome, that is extra pair of X chromosome, and it takes place in the, and it is due to the trisomy. Okay, the term gynecomastia is important, and the individual will be sterile. So here here we have dealt with all the trisomy conditions, that is Down syndrome, Patau syndrome, Edwards syndrome, and Klinefelter syndrome. So now I will move towards monosomy. What was monosomy? Monosomy was due to lack of a chromosome. Okay, and the condition was, for example, in human, if there are total 46 chromosomes, then there will be, in case of monosomy, you will find 45 chromosomes. Okay, in case of human, an example of monosomy is given in your NCERT book. Okay, that's Turner's syndrome. So let us know about the Turner's syndrome. What happens in Turner's syndrome? Turner's syndrome is, it occurs in case of female, where due to lack of a X chromosome. So in case of the organism, in case of the individual with Turner's syndrome, there will be only one X chromosome. Okay, so there will be only one X chromosome. So as a result, the number of chromosome will be 45 and this is the condition. Okay. So what are the characters? So here it will be opposite to Klinefelter syndrome. Such females will be sterile. Their male used to be sterile and here females are sterile because this occurred in case of female. Because ovaries are rudimentary, so the organism will be sterile. There won't be no secondary characters present. So as a result, this will give rise to a sterile female since the ovaries are rudimentary and there are no secondary characters present. Okay. So this is what we have been dealing with. We have been learning about trisomy, monosomy under genomic mutation. Okay. So now we will move towards the polyploidy. Last class I mentioned ploidy simply denotes sets of chromosomes. Okay. So whenever I mention polyploidy, it will mean sets of chromosomes. We were discussing trisomy and monosomy under aneuploidy and now we will discuss about polyploidy. Polyploidy simply takes place due to lack of telophase after cytokinesis. Okay. It takes place due to failure of cytokinesis after the telophase stage of the cell division, which results in the increase of whole set of chromosome. So polyploidy is of two types. One is autopolyploidy and allopolyploidy. Autopolyploidy is the ploidy condition which takes place in the same genome. Okay. So autopolyploidy, from the name itself you can know that they takes place in the same genome, whereas allopolyploidy takes place between different species. As a result, hybrid develops. Okay. So autopolyploidy takes place within the same species, same genome, whereas allopolyploidy takes place between different species, which results in the development of hybrids. So we will now see in details. Okay. This is the example. This is suppose a diploid organism with two sets of chromosome where a single A represents a single set of chromosome. Okay. So they will double into like A. So this occurs within the same genome. So this is an example of autopolyploidy. Okay. And polyploidy is mainly seen in case of plants. Okay. polyploidy condition occurs mainly in case of plants. So this is an example. Suppose this is a diploid organism with two set of chromosomes. This a single A represents a single set of chromosome. Due to polyploidy condition, okay, the doubling of the set of chromosome takes place and it will give rise to this new ploidy. Okay, so this is the case in case of autopolyploidy. Now looking to case of allopolyploidy. What happens in case of allopolyploidy? Suppose this is a diploid organism and there is another diploid organism, because I have already mentioned that there are two different species. Okay, this is from one species, this is from another species. So they will have two set of chromosome. This individual have two set of chromosome, this will also have two set of chromosome. This is the another individual. So as a result, the gametes form will be AB, and when doubling it will give rise to AABB. Okay, so gametes form will be AB and doubling will give AABB. So is this clear, the difference between autopolyploidy and allopolyploidy? So very important example of allopolyploidy is triticum, which is a cross between wheat and rye. Okay, triticum is an example of allopolyploidy, which is a cross between wheat and rye. Okay, so polyploidy is clear. So now I will move towards the next topic, that is origin of mutation. Why do mutation occur? So the next topic is origin of mutation. So coming to the point, why mutation occur? Mutation can be occurring due to two reasons. First is spontaneous mutation and second one is induced mutation. Okay, the spontaneous mutation can occur due to intracellular factors. Various induced mutation occurs due to environmental factors. So mutation can occur due to two reasons. One is spontaneous and another is induced mutation. Spontaneous mutation occurs due to intracellular factors, whereas induced mutation occurs due to environmental factors. These factors are further denoted as mutagens. The factors responsible for induced mutations are known as mutagens. Okay. So now we will discuss about intracellular factors. What are the intracellular factors? Intracellular factors refers to the suppose there is some problem during DNA replication. As a result, DNA can't be repaired properly. Okay, Due to problem in DNA replication, DNA can't be repaired properly. Okay. So this can give rise to spontaneous mutation. Okay. It occurs due to intracellular factors. For example, we can take during DNA replication, the DNA can't be repaired or can't be replicated properly. As a result, it will give rise to damage. Okay. So whenever the DNA is damaged, it can't be repaired, and thus it will give rise to mutation. This type of mutation is known as spontaneous mutation. Here peroxides and formaldehydes, they act as a source of mutagen, so that they alter or change the DNA replication process, giving rise to intracellular factors causing spontaneous mutation. In case of induced mutation, mutagens may induce the mutation by three factors. Mutagens can be physical, it can be chemical, or biological. So, in case of induced mutation, mutagens can be of three types: physical, chemical, or biological. Biological mutagens can be viruses, which can damage the cell. Viruses can cause the mutation in the host cell. Okay, so viruses act as a biological mutagen. Chemicals, there are various chemicals like nitrous acid, formaldehyde, which can alter the DNA sequence. Okay, and various physical aspects, that is temperature and radiation. Whenever there is increase in temperature, then mutation will take place, because rise of temperature will cause the breakdown of the hydrogen bonds between the base pair of DNA. Okay, so DNA base pair majot ki thake hydrogen bonds thake, they are bonded with the help of hydrogen bonds. Okay, so whenever the temperature increases, it will cause the breakage of that hydrogen bond, and which will further cause mutation. So whenever there is increase in temperature, hydrogen bonds between the base pairs will break, and this will cause mutation. Okay, so under physical, the first point is temperature, and the second point is radiation. Various type of radiation like alpha rays, beta rays, gamma rays can cause mutation. Okay, so under chemical you can give an example. For example, colchicine is used to treat the plants so that polyploidy can be induced. Colchicine is used in the plants to induce polyploidy, which inhibits the formation of spindle fiber. Okay, Whenever there is inhibition in the formation of spindle fiber, as a result the chromosomes can't separate and they will result in polyploidy. So we were studying about polyploidy, so you can relate it with the previous topic I discussed. Okay. So colchicine is used in the plants to induce polyploidy, which inhibits the formation of spindle fiber, which will result in the chromosome, which will prevent in the chromosome segregation and will result in the increase in the number of ploidy, okay, or chromosome sets. So origin of mutation can be attributed by two factors, spontaneous and induced. Spontaneous mutation takes place due to intracellular factors, which occurs, for example, in case of DNA replication, DNA can't be repaired properly, okay. So here peroxides and mutations, formaldehydes act as mutagens, which will give rise to spontaneous mutation. Induced mutation can be due to environmental factors, and the mutagens here involve are of three kinds. Physical, which includes temperature. Increase in temperature will break the hydrogen bonds between the base pair, which will cause the mutation. Secondly, radiation. Radiation can be of three types: alpha rays, beta rays and gamma rays, which will also induce the mutation. Secondly, chemicals. There are various chemicals like nitrous acid, formaldehyde. We can take example of colchicine, which induces polyploidy in the plants. Thirdly, biological mutagens like viruses, which causes the alteration in the genome of the organism, okay. So this is all about mutation and the mutagens, okay. From the point of mutation, we have to keep in mind point mutation and frame mutation properly monot rakhiba, okay, which we have discussed in our last class. Okay, there are two more terms that are mutable genes. Mutable genes are the genes which are frequently undergoing, which have the ability to undergo frequent mutation. So mutable genes are the genes which have ability to undergo mutation frequently, okay. So there's just two more points. Mutable genes, genes which mutate much more frequently than others, okay. Secondly is the mutator or mutator genes. Mutator or the mutator genes, they increase the mutation. There is a difference between mutable genes and mutator genes, okay. They are the genes which mutate with much more frequency than the others, and these are the genes which increases the mutation. Thirdly, what is suppressor genes? Suppressor genes that suppress the mutation. So these are the 3 points which you need to know about mutation. Decrease the rate of mutation. So mutable genes, genes which mutate much more frequently than the others, mutator that increase the mutation rate, suppressor genes that decrease the rate of mutation. So here I wind up with mutation, and now I will move towards pedigree analysis. So what is pedigree analysis? From the definition point of view, pedigree analysis can be defined as a kind of genetic analysis of a particular trait is traced through several generations. In which a particular trait is traced through several generations of a family to determine how the trait is inherited. Okay. So, pedigree analysis is a kind of genetic analysis in which a particular trait, okay, a particular trait is traced from several generations. From several generations at a pedigree chart baraba, so that we can trace from where the trait is inherited. Okay, just it is to find out a particular trait and its inheritance, corpora ahise ki hoise, okay, and various generations of a family is involved. There are few terms which you need to know before knowing the pedigree. Few things which you need to know. So, dominant aru recessive. So, very clear as what is dominant, what is recessive. Terms related to pedigree. And pedigree is very important. Questions ahibo. So, keep in mind. तो फर्स्ट डोमिनेंट तो सबे जाना डोमिनेंट तो दुटा टाइप থাকে डोमिनेंट हेटेरोजाइगस एंड डोमिनेंट होमोजाइगस तो मेंडेलर যদি প্লান্ট স্টেম হাই ক্যারেক্টার টু চাও তেতিয়াহলে আমি পাম ক্যাপিটাল টি স্মল t is the dominant heterozygous condition and capital T is the dominant homozygous condition. Okay. Then recessive. Recessive को similarly homozygous condition at की होगा small t. Okay. Then coming to pedigree symbols. What are the symbols used in pedigree? First, whenever a square is there, it represents a male. Whenever there is a circle, it will represent a female. Okay? Square, male, circle, female. Whenever there is a shaded square, it will represent a infected or affected male, that is the trait is present in that male. Okay. Similarly, in case of female, whenever it is shaded, it will include the affected female. Clear? And whenever there is a rhombus type of jete thake etuk ami kau sex unspecified, we can't specify because it's neither a male neither a nor a female. Okay, तो sex is unspecified. Clear? Whenever there is mating between a male and a female, we represent it with a horizontal line. Okay, this line indicates mating between male and female. Clear? Then the next point, whenever there is a double horizontal line between a male and female, it means mating between such type of mating is known as consanguineous mating. And this is known as mating between the relatives. Okay, whenever there is a double horizontal line between a male and a female, it means consanguineous mating, which means mating between relatives. Okay, don't be confused, this is a single horizontal line and this is a double horizontal line. Whenever there is a male and female mating, then there will be a vertical line indicating the offsprings produced. Okay, so this is the parental generation. Okay, so the vertical line coming down from the horizontal line indicates the offsprings produced. Offspring starts from left to right in order of their birth. So this will be the first offspring, this will be the second, this will be the third offspring. Okay, so whenever there is a horizontal line between male and female, it will indicate parents, and whenever there will be a vertical line from the horizontal line, it will tell us about the offspring. Offsprings are numbered from left to right in order of their birth. Okay, so these are the basics: male square, female circle, affected male shaded, affected female shaded, sex unspecified, rhombus or ricina, mating between male single. Mating between relatives is known as consanguineous mating, double horizontal line, and the offsprings, that is vertical line, are from left to right in order of their birth, and offsprings of numbering there 1 to 3. Okay, from left to right. One more thing, in case of generation we give Roman numbers. Jodi eta generation or para next generation define koribo lage, we give Roman numbers. Suppose this is a first generation, so it will have offspring. Okay, this will have so this is the first generation, this is the second generation, and this is the third generation. In case of generation we give Roman numbers, in case of number of siblings we give that number. Okay, so this is clear. Now we need to know few tips about pedigree analysis, and pedigree is very important. Next week I will discuss the numericals related from the whole chapter. Okay, so it's my advice, those who are not doing online classes, please go through the lectures, recorded lectures, so that we can solve the numericals related to this chapter, and it's very important. by next week be up to date with the lectures I have done till now, so that we can go for the solving of numericals. Okay, there are just few tips. Okay, whenever, these are the tips of solving pedigree. Whenever a trait is inherited from male to male, it is known as Y-link. Whenever a trait is inherited from male to male, it is known as Y-link. Suppose this is the parent, father with the trait, and no other siblings show the trait, no other offspring show the trait except the male. Whenever a trait is inherited from male to male, it is known as Y-linked trait. Clear? Second point is criss-cross or X-link. Okay, criss-cross or X-link. It follows the pattern that male, female, male. This is the first generation, this is the second generation, this is the third generation, or female, male, female. So it will involve 3 generations. Can you see the criss-cross pattern? So, as a result, suppose this is the male of the first generation. Okay, so trait is from male So look at the diagram given. Look at the diagram given. In the first generation, suppose this is the trait present in the male. Second generation, you can see the trait is present in the female, and third generation again male. This is the criss-cross inheritance, and it is also known as X-link recessive inheritance. Okay, so this can be grandfather, daughter, son. Okay, grandson. So this is the criss-cross X-link recessive, criss-cross inheritance or X-link recessive. So is it clear? Y-link and X-link. Y-link is simply from male to male. Criss-cross is male, female, male, or female, male, female. It will involve 3 generations. Okay, next I am moving towards the point number 3. The third point is, if the parents don't have the trait, but the trait is inherited by the offspring, if the trait is not inherited by the parents, but the trait is inherited by the offspring, then we can say that female parent is the carrier of the trait, and the trait is recessive kind of trait, not dominant kind of trait. Okay, so in this case, whenever a trait is inherited is present in the offspring but not in the parent, such type of trait can be attributed that female parent is the carrier of the trait, and such trait is recessive kind of trait. So, this is the third point. Now, the fourth point is that if the females become affected, if the female become affected when trait passes from one parent only. Sorry. If the female offspring becomes affected, if the female becomes affected from the trait and the trait is present in only one of the parent, then we can say that such type of trait is dominant. Okay, then we can say that such kind of trait is dominant. If the female becomes affected from the trait, only the female offspring is affected and it passes from only one parent, we can say that the trait is dominant. It can be either autosomal dominant or sex link. All these points we need to keep in mind when we will deal with the numericals or the problems of the pedigree analysis. So, go through the theory part properly so that we can solve the questions in the upcoming week. So, these are the 4 tips we need to keep in mind while solving the pedigree analysis questions. So, now I will discuss about the Mendelian disorders. Okay, what are the Mendelian disorders? So, last class we have already discussed the genetic disorders or can give rise to change in the structure of the gene, can give rise to chromosomal disorders plus Mendelian disorders. Okay, whenever there chromosomal disorders, we have already studied about trisomy, monosomy. Okay, so now we will study about the Mendelian disorders. So, under Mendelian disorders, what are Mendelian disorders? The genetic disorders are mainly caused by alteration and mutation in the single gene. So, Mendelian disorders are the genetic disorders which are caused due to alteration in a single gene. So, these are the genetic mutations which cause due to alteration in a single gene. Okay, they are transmitted from parents to offspring following the basis of inheritance. So, these Mendelian disorders are passed from parents to offspring, and we can know about the Mendelian disorder by tracing the pedigree analysis. Okay, so we can study how the trait is inherited with the help of pedigree analysis in case of Mendelian disorders. So, they are transmitted from parents to offspring, following the principle of inheritance, and can be traced by pedigree analysis. Okay. So first disorder we will study now is about hemophilia, which is also mentioned in your NCERT book. Hemophilia is also known as bleeder's disease. Why it is known as bleeder's disease? Because a person suffering from hemophilia, a single cut, a very minute cut can also cause excessive bleeding and also lead to death of the organism, death of the individual. So it is also known as bleeder's disease. Okay, a minute cut can even cause death of the individual. So what happens when a person suffer from cut? तो जिते cut होय तिते आमार की होय blooded की होय blood clot होय जिते की करे bleeding और pra prevent करे. So this is related to this point जे in case of a person suffering from hemophilia, the ability of the organism to form clot, blood clot to जिते form होय हेतु form हुआ ability to organism or ना थाके. Okay, so as a result the person suffers from excessive bleeding. So coming to the even minute cut can cause excessive bleeding. And this is an example of sex-linked recessive disorder. That is, the chromosomes involved, the gene involved is present in the sex-linked chromosome. Very important, sex-linked recessive disorder. Hemophilia can be of two types, type A, type B. So hemophilia can be of two types, type A and type B. Type A is due to deficiency of factor 8. In blood there are various clotting factors. So one of the factor is factor 8. Caused due to deficiency of factor 8, which is named as AHF, that is anti-hemophilia factor. Various hemophilia B is caused due to deficiency of factor 9. Which is also known as Christmas factor. So there are two types of hemophilia, hemophilia A and hemophilia B. Hemophilia A is caused due to deficiency of factor 8, that is AHF, and hemophilia B is caused due to deficiency of factor 9, that is known as Christmas factor. So coming to the main cause, what happens in case of hemophilia? In case of hemophilia, is a sex-linked trait which is caused due to a recessive gene. Okay, hemophilia is a sex-linked trait caused due to a recessive gene. Mutation in this gene causes control the synthesis of protein needed for this gene controls the synthesis of the protein needed for blood clotting. So, whenever there is mutation in this gene, it will cause the inhibition of formation of blood clot due to absence of the proteins. As a result, the person will bleed and it may cause to the death of the person. So, hemophilia, there is a recessive gene. This gene controls the synthesis of the protein needed for blood clotting. Whenever there will be the mutation in this gene, it will cause the inhibition of blood clot formation and further result in the excessive bleeding of the organism. So, it won't prevent clot. Won't prevent bleeding because blood clot isn't formed. Okay. So, in case of hemophilia, females are only carrier. They can't be affected. So, this is, since it is a sex-linked recessive disorder, this indicates the female carrier, female affected does not exist. Okay, male affected can exist, and this is the normal male. Only female carrier is present in case of hemophilia. This condition does not exist. Female affected does not exist because it will be totally lethal. Okay. So, female okol carrier thakibo pare, male affected thakibo pare, aru normal male just. Okay, sir? So, this is the simple phenomenon of hemophilia. So, hemophilia to saba, moi eta example di asu. It is cross-linked. Kenenge saba. So, this is the normal female. Okay. Normal female to jetya ami cross korisu with a hemophilic male. Normal female XX thakibo, hemophilic male XHY. Okay. So, it will give rise to gametes. Yarpra X will happen, yarpra X, yarpra XH aru Y. These are the gametes. Okay. This is the parent. Generation 1. As a result, jikhini offspring hobo, X aru XH hobo, X, XH, XY, X, XH, XY. This is the second generation. Okay, these two are the carrier daughters and these are the normal son, normal son, normal son, carrier daughter, carrier daughter. Okay, clear? तो next हबा, next की हबो carrier daughter, next F2 generation की हबो whenever we cross between the two carrier daughters. So यार पर लोलू XXH तो यार पर आहिबो आरो इफाले XY. ओके तो यार पर आहिबो XX क्रॉस करिले XX XH X X HX X HY. XY होगा या सो याते आमी की पाम कैरियर मेल दुटा. This is the F2 generation, that is the third generation. Okay, तो याते सुबह क्रिस क्रॉस इनहेरिटेंस होइसे. फर्स्ट मेल फादर परा मेल डॉटर तात आहिसे. थर्डली फादर परा আকৌ डॉटर परा मेल तात आहिसे. So this is an example of criss cross inheritance, male female aru male. Okay, so in case if we cross between normal female and hemophilic male, then we will see in the first generation the trait is inherited by the female. Okay, hemophilic male or pra offspring daughter or tat ahibo, daughter or pra ako ahibo male or tat. So this is an example of criss-cross inheritance, and criss-cross inheritance bila ki hoy, they are sex-linked recessive. Kapar jodi cross to doubt ase, go through the PDF properly, tate moi bhalke mention kori diso cross to. Criss-cross inheritance is an example of sex-linked recessive. Okay, so hemophilia ki hoy, the it is a sex-linked recessive disorder where the blood, a single cut can also result in excessive bleeding and also lead to death. Female carrier okol present thake, female infected present na thake, because that will be lethal, and it is an example of criss-cross inheritance as I have depicted in the example, and PDF to dia ase cross to tumaleke sai loba. And important NCERT bookot mention kora ase, and we know that Queen Victoria is a carrier of hemophilia. So Queen Victoria family hemophilia pedigree analysis kora hoise, and it was found that Queen Victoria is a carrier from ages of hemophilia. Okay, so etu hoi gol. Next time up हो गया क्या? Time हो गया क्या? हाँ, okay. So I will discuss about phenylketonuria now. This is the second disorder we are discussing. Phenylketonuria. It is an autosomal recessive. This is not sex-linked. This is autosomal recessive disorder which occurs due to inborn error of metabolism This is the term given in your NCERT, inborn error in metabolism. Okay, autosomal recessive disorder which occurs, this is due to inborn error in metabolism. So yet simply ki hoy, the cause is that our body at the amino acid ase jitu hol phenylalanine. Phenylalanine to tyrosine not convert hoy in presence of phenyl hydroxylase enzyme. Phenylalanine hydroxylase. Name of the enzyme is important. So, phenylalanine converts into tyrosine in presence of enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase. Due to presence of this gene, ki hoy? The recessive gene ki hobo? Etu enzyme amar body synthesize no hobo. As a result, phenylalanine does not change to tyrosine. But change it no hoy, tete hole amar brain not phenylalanine accumulate hoi jay, which results in the mental retardation. So this is the simple phenomenon under phenylketonuria. Main symptom hol mental retardation. High mental retardation, okay, because phenylalanine brain not accumulate hoi jay. So structure to sabo gole phenylalanine structure to jodi ebar sailwa, you will get to know amino group ki thake C double bond O NH3 aru efale alanine structure to hol CH3 thakile hoy ha. So alanine ki thakile hoy CH3 thakile hoy, but this is what phenylalanine. To CH or pra eta H group remove kori dipa, remove kori tate eta phenyl group thoi diba. So this is the structure of phenylalanine. Okay. Similarly, tyrosine jete ami structure to sabo jam C double bond O efale thakibo NH3. This is the amino acid structure. CH2 alanine eta thoba and logote tolar eta hydrogen OH hydroxide group eta add kori diba. So this is the structure of tyrosine jot eta additional OH group thake, yate OH group na thake. Okay, and hey karne enzyme to naam hol phenyl hydroxylase, because due to addition of extra OH group. So from the structure itself you can know the name of the enzyme, and very simple hoy. It is an autosomal recessive disorder. It is an inborn error in metabolism. Okay, so in this case ki hoy phenylalanine is always converted to tyrosine, okay, in presence of enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase. But due to presence of this recessive gene ki hoy jay, our body cannot the enzyme is not synthesized. So as a result, phenylalanine does not change into tyrosine and it gets accumulated in the brain, causing mental retardation. Name of the enzyme is important and the cause and the mechanism. Just it way. Clear? And it is a autosomal recessive disorder, that is, it does not occur in the sex chromosome. Okay, so I will wind up with the class. Thank you everyone.